It's Greg and Joel Fix the World. Because if you haven't heard, guys don't hang out anymore, they start a podcast. While they're at it, they're fixing the world and solving every problem you've ever had. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to Greg and Joel Fix the World. I'm Joel.
I'm Greg.
And here we are on another podcast asking questions of each other that the other one doesn't know to help fix the world. Today it's my turn, Greg, to ask you a question.
Looking forward to it. Maybe.
This podcast, I just said it, we ask questions that the other person doesn't know.
Yep.
Which leaves an element of surprise, not knowing where things are going. I think that's why we're doing it that way. We like it that way. So that is kind of my question today. Do you like and do you think it's better to wing things in life or to plan out things in life? And of course,
very meta. I like that.
It could be some things get planned, some things don't. But how do you feel generally about winging it versus planning it?
I'm going to sound a bit broken recordy here, but like in many things, I think it's an and, not an or. So there will be times when I think the spontaneity, like there's a reason we're not planning the question here, is because we want there to be a
real conversation,
not a canned banter and talking points. We want it to be a conversation. But in life, there are certainly times you need to plan things, although I don't, I know some people are more planners than not. I think you're probably more of a planner than I am.
I wouldn't agree with that.
No? Like if there's going to be a vacation happening, like do you like to know exactly where you're sleeping that night, where you're going to be eating? Do you look at all of it? Or I'm more like, let's just go. I'm showing up. I'll figure it out.
It depends.
Yeah.
It depends. If I'm going with my kids, I plan out every second.
Yeah.
I want it to be like, I want them to have activities to do. I don't want a lot of lag time. I need to know when I'm going, and I need an itinerary.
Yeah.
If I'm going with my partner, and like we planned a trip last spring, we went to Portugal. I didn't know anywhere that I was going to. I didn't know any of the hotels. She picked everything, and I'm good with that. Like, and if one thing hadn't worked out, I would have been fine with doing the next thing. So it really depends on the people I'm traveling with or that kind of thing.
But I will say, when it comes to what we're trying to do here, which is fix the world, I think when it comes to communication specifically and the kinds of conversations that would lend to the world fixing kind of things, like difficult conversations or conversations like conflict resolution or where you want to persuade somebody of something, I think in those cases a lot more planning ought to happen than we tend to do.
Like, what's a context to that?
Like, let's say you're having a disagreement with your partner about something. To take a moment to think it through about, first of all, collecting yourself so you're in a mode of responding and not reacting. So that's number one. That alone is a planning thing, right? Like I'm taking a moment. I'm collecting myself. So I'm no longer in reaction mode. If something just pissed me off, I'm going to take a breath, remembering to do that. Because I promise you, the things that come out of your mouth after you've taken a breath and noticed your blood pressure are going to be different if you've had a chance to notice what's going on and manage that a little bit. So to plan that. And then also go through a little bit of an empathy exercise. Okay, these are the things I want to say to this person. How's this going to land? What's their communication style? Like, do they just want me to get to the facts, or do I have to, build a little bit of a shit sandwich, as they say, like really emphasize, just so you know, I'm really happy with this, but you suck here. But also, just so you know.
Is that a plan, or is that being mindful in the moment?
I guess it depends how quickly you do it, right? If you can just spin that up quickly, but it is a plan. It's just, I guess it's, is it a plan? Just to decide you're going to... Just to remember, I need to have this conversation a certain way. I don't want to say these things. If I do get upset, I'm going to take a minute.
Yeah, I don't know that that's... there's so many nuances here. Strategy versus plan versus being mindful.
True, yeah.
I think my initial question, I'll give you an example, just a generic. I have a friend who planned his life. He knew he was going to law school. He knew after law school he would work in a big firm. He knew after that he would do X or Y. Like, he really planned it out. He's going to get married, have 2 kids, la 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 la. That's a plan.
Okay. And that's great.
A lot of people don't operate that way. I didn't operate that way. Even in my sort of corporate life, when I had one, I didn't like the rigidity of micromanagement. So it was like, just let me figure it out. I
Yeah.
don't need the plan.
Yeah.
I need to just figure it out. And that's kind of how I feel about my regular life and projects and whatever. So
Yeah.
that's kind of what I was asking about.
It-
But then you sort of got into other things, but that's fine.
No, I want to ask. I want to answer the question you intended. So, if it's just in general life, I prefer a more spontaneous
Yeah.
existence. I would say, but I depend on the planners. Like when I go on vacation with somebody, I appreciate that they've planned stuff because I just don't have the patience to do that.
So your spontaneity exists because of someone else's planning.
Because somebody has enabled me.
Interesting. Very
Somebody-
interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I'll get by if it didn't happen, right?
Right.
But I appreciate the fact that these plans are in place.
Like we were talking earlier about projects you've done where you've actually had to book talent to come to events.
Yeah.
And you need the event venue, you need the venue, you need to get flights for these people, you need to have meals for these people. A lot of planning goes into that.
Well, some things you have to plan,
Yeah.
right? Like there's no room for spontaneity there in terms of, having talent come in and not having a place to sleep. But in terms of like when they're here and just dealing with them, yeah, I tend to just be more in the moment.
Don't you
Yeah.
think that I find that it leads to better results. I mean, the plan will get you maybe the bare minimum, but it doesn't allow for a lot of creativity in the decisions and the ability to weave when you need to move in another direction.
Well,
Just-
it's funny because yes, you're right, and I agree with you, but you could also be talking to some people and you'd say that same thing and they'd say, actually, a lack of a plan would lead to tremendous anxiety. And they wouldn't be wrong.
No,
it's just that
it's
they're
for
wired.
them,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I get that. And I have respect for planners, people who do that. But it's not me. To me, it feels like administrative work.
yeah,
You know,
I agree with that.
making the phone calls and the research and the comparisons. I mean, I'll do that when I'm buying something on Amazon. I'll research and stuff, and I don't buy stuff spontaneously, but I'd like to go somewhere spontaneously. But I also know it's sometimes a mistake. Like I've had the experience of, like when I went to Italy, I thought I'm just going to go and I'm going to see the Colosseum. No, you can't do that. You had to have bought your ticket online
Right.
before.
Right.
So I felt like that was, I felt kind of irresponsible.
Do you have examples where the inverse happened based on your decision? So you planned something and it failed horribly because you should have been more spontaneous and open, and you were spontaneous and it failed horribly because you should have planned more, not including Italy.
Well, I planned to be married. So
Is that a plan? I mean,
well,
it's
okay.
a hope, it's a desire, it's a
hope.
dream.
So the question is something I planned that
You were married, by the way.
I was.
So you
for
fulfilled that.
20 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
Perhaps you don't remember, but
Yeah.
You were.
You do, right?
I remember.
You remember the stories. So the question is something I've planned that I had wished that I hadn't because of the rigidity of the whole
Yeah.
thing. Let me think.
could be anything, like something at work, something to do with with your car, things that you like, anything.
I'm having trouble thinking of something I've planned that hasn't really gone well. I don't know if that's because I haven't planned that much, so I haven't had that opportunity.
So what's
for
something you planned that went really well?
something I planned that went really well? Well, I guess that event you just mentioned,
Mhm.
like I was doing some really interesting things where I had soap opera actors coming to town and making fan events and selling tickets and had auctions and cocktail parties but I planned because I had to, right? Like I had
Well, yeah, you can't have someone fly in and not know what the heck's going
like
on.
I had a team of 6 actors coming from California, and I had like 150 guests coming. Like that required me to be planning, and I'm happy I did. I didn't enjoy that aspect of it. I enjoy the day of when
Yeah,
everybody's here and
And things work out.
yeah. And if they don't, I'd rather put out the fire on the spot.
Yeah.
And there were fires, like where did Galen go? He's supposed to be here now. That's one of the actors or whatever. But
Here's something interesting about that particular project.
yeah,
Of course, you have to plan. Logistics are important.
yeah,
But it only occurred because of the spontaneity of the decision to make it happen. You met someone in a bar. You met an actor.
well, I
in
met
a
an actor
bar.
at a different event, which was completely unplanned, and I decided I'm just going to go up to him and say, "Hey, So here we are in Boston, and this thing's happening. And I
Yeah.
don't think many people are doing this in Canada. And would you be interested in continuing a discussion to have this thing go on in Canada?
So isn't that amazing that your spontaneous decision
Yeah.
led to
Yes,
a bigger thing?
I could never have planned to just make that happen from the outset. I
Right.
needed that lucky little spark there of that chance meeting. And that, to me, that was the most fun part when that kind of thing happens.
Yeah,
It's
and
like, hey, there's somebody.
And
Let's have a
sometimes
chat.
it's lightning in a bottle, right? Like you had this spontaneous decision and
Yeah.
it worked.
Yeah.
Now if you planned it,
Yeah.
it might not work as well.
Well, it's
You-
interesting because we were talking, there's other things that I'd like to do, like in terms of, producing music events and so on. It's like, how do I do that? I don't even know where to start planning
Yeah.
that, but if there was some spontaneous way to have a chance meeting, that would be interesting.
But if I had asked you 5 minutes before you met that actor, how would you create one of these events? You wouldn't have a clue.
I would have no idea.
Right.
No,
So
no.
it's the same.
Nor would I have an idea how to plan one. It just kind of once I kind of made it happen, I found myself that I just had to do certain things. Like the steps kind of revealed themselves. Well, obviously I have to do this. I have to sell tickets. I got to get a place to do it, and I got to advertise it. And that means I got to call these people.
Yeah.
Like it kind of revealed itself, because I had to.
Do you think there's not enough planners and or spontaneity in the world? Like, is there one or the other? Too much of, too little of?
And do they get along with each other? Also,
Generally not.
yeah,
There's the project managers of the world, and there's
Yeah.
everybody else. you
yeah,
know?
yeah. I'm just trying to think, like, the people I get along best with, they're probably both. I mean, the planners tend to be the more type A's,
Yeah.
right? If we're going to say that.
Yeah.
And does that make us type B if we're the more spontaneous ones, more chill,
is
just to take it?
Is it type B? Is that what it's called?
I don't know, because to me, type B means you're less intense about stuff.
Mhm.
But I can be very intense about stuff, but it doesn't mean I planned it all out.
Right.
Right? In the moment, I'll make it happen. I think you're the same way, but we
Yeah.
don't necessarily have to list out everything. Like, I don't know that this would work if either of us were planners. Like, this
Right.
whole thing is an exercise in spontaneity. Even like the whole point of not even telling the other what the question is.
Right.
Like, we're putting as little planning as possible, right? And I think that's what makes it interesting. Or does it?
Because not knowing the outcome
Yeah.
is fun.
Yeah, and even
Exciting. It's scary. It's exciting. It's all of those emotions.
yeah, and I even like, I don't know how you're planning it, but when I ask you a question, I don't have like 6 follow-up questions waiting. I'm just
No.
like, where's it go? We'll just see what happens.
Yeah. As a journalist, someone who's worked in journalism, I've known people who, before they interview someone, they have their list of questions and follow-ups and everything planned out. And
Yeah.
I might have had a few to start, but I always wung
You wang it?
I wang
Yeah.
the interview
Yeah.
because I don't know what they're gonna say, and sometimes they say one little thing that's super cool or exciting, and I just take it there.
Yeah.
It's way more fun for me.
Yeah.
I feel like planning it out is just gonna ruin it almost.
But I can see how there would be a place for partial planning. Like if there's certain details you need to walk
Yes.
away from that meeting with,
Yes.
you got to figure out the best way to get that,
Yeah.
right? And you have to know certain questions.
But
if-
then you lack that conversation. Sometimes people, it's like question A, question B, question C. Goodbye. Thanks for your time.
yeah,
You won't get as much that way.
yeah. Well, I'll give you another example. So a number of years ago, I used to, the most terrifying job I ever had was selling things on the shopping channel, the Canadian version of HSN home. Yeah, HSN. It would be HSN in the U.S.
In the U-
TSC in Canada.
Yeah,
Home
but in the
Shopping
U.S.
Network.
it's now called
Something else.
something else with a T.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, something with a T.
HVC, home.
Yeah, that's another one.
Yeah.
That could be European. I'm not sure.
I don't
Anyway,
know.
it was
Doesn't matter.
TSC, the shopping channel in Canada, and the most terrifying thing I've ever done. But the hosts had a really good quality about they had this. So the host had this really hard job. Like, and I would be a guest, so I'd be coming on and selling my grills or whatever.
Yep.
And their job is to keep the conversation going,
Right.
and involve the viewer and be selling it. And it was very important that what I was doing as a guest and them is not scripted. It was part of the training. You can't have scripting going on
Right.
because otherwise you're going to kill the vibe. Like you want to have a conversation where you're showing the food, in my case, and saying things like, imagine that you're at a barbecue. How are the other parents how are you gonna feel when the other parents are looking at the food you're putting out there, and you're gonna be so proud, like involving them, but not to plan a script,
Right.
because spontaneity is what made it
Real.
real and accessible
Yeah.
and authentic and entertaining, frankly.
Yeah.
Like, and we can all hear, when you call your utility company, you can hear the second they're reading a script, even
Yeah.
if they're saying, like, I apologize for the inconvenience. We understand. Like,
Yeah.
it's terrible. So I think spontaneity is where the good stuff happens. But I understand that people like me couldn't exist without the planners in the world.
Right.
So I don't want to begrudge the existence of planners, because God bless you.
I
out
feel
there.
the same.
Yeah.
Maybe have you ever seen shows like Curb Your Enthusiasm or those
Yeah.
kinds of things where also no script.
Right.
They have
right.
an outline.
Yeah.
We have to get to, Larry falls on his face at the end of it. But
Yeah.
everything leading up to that,
Isn't that amazing?
yeah. So, and that's to me, that's a more exciting, better type of entertainment. It's like
Yeah.
knowing that they didn't know where it was going to go
Yeah.
is great.
Isn't that amazing? And it's more, not only is it more fun for the audience, but I'll bet it was more fun for them.
Yeah.
Right?
And scary.
Yeah. And like, I wish do you know, like, was there more retakes that they had to do? Like, did they always get where they were going, or
I don't
they just
know.
trust each other? They read each other and it works.
I don't know that. I'm sure there's a lot of junk in there too.
Yeah.
Because not, even what we're doing here, it's not all gold.
It's not all gold. We know that.
Some of it is silver.
So, yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think it's exciting for them too. I think you're right.
Yeah. So I think, but this isn't really, it's not fair to the world, because you and I happen to be wired for more
Yeah.
spontaneity, and it doesn't make the planners wrong. And we are trying to fix the world for everyone,
Yeah.
the planners
No,
included.
the planners let me do things that I don't know anything about.
Yeah.
They are out there putting the bricks in the road before I step on them.
Yeah.
And
Have you had conflicts, any kind of conflicts in relationship with people who are clearly more planner oriented?
I don't like project managers. There's a mentality there.
Are you talking professionally, or when it comes into personal life too?
Professionally,
Yeah.
I do recall working in a corporate setting. I was a communications manager at a large investment company,
Yeah.
and it was like a big day where we were having a lot of our people on TV, and there was a lot of press on that day, and we were coming out with certain bits of news that were controversial, and they had hired a project manager to make sure we were all doing what we need to do. And
Yeah.
I really got no added value from this person. She kept coming into my office saying, "Did you make sure to call so and so? Did you do the thing?" It's like, this is what I'm getting paid for. If I'm not doing it, I will be fired tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I didn't find any value in that kind of project management planner.
So you didn't, because I'm guessing you happen to be someone who's organized. You're spontaneous yet organized.
I like
but
to
I'm
think
sure
that-
there's a need for project planners, right?
Yes, but I don't like them. It's like
We just lost 0.06% of our audience. Yeah.
If you're building a house and you're the developer and you need to know when do the plumber guys come in, when do the flooring guys come in, when do the electrical guys come in, you can't have them all in the same day.
Right.
Somebody needs to be planning these things, project managing.
And you need an architect at the beginning.
Yeah, I understand that, but
yeah.
even then, I feel like if everyone just has a conversation, one meeting at the beginning.
Yeah. Well, you don't need anybody to follow up with you like a child if you're
No,
going to do
but
stuff anyway.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
It feels very childlike, like nobody trusts anybody.
Yeah. Okay.
And
So I guess a subsequent episode, we're going to fix the world by just figuring out ways to replace the project managers.
it's not a bad idea.
No.
It's such an odd title, too.
Yeah. It's actually a certification,
Yes.
right? Like
I've taken a course in it.
Yeah,
I was
like-
forced to.
yeah. Like, no, it must be important, right? In like, when there's like tons of moving parts, like somebody's got to keep it all together. I don't want to say they have no value, or do they? Let's just own it.
I don't know.
Project managers suck. You're
Yeah,
useless. They just
We know
quit today.
either
Do
we're
it.
doing our jobs or we're not.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Stop. Get rid of this nanny state that you're trying to implement.
But I agree, or I hope you agree, that the spontaneity, the winging it,
Yeah.
brings more of the good stuff, the fun stuff, the creative stuff.
Yeah.
The planning is just
It's the other stuff.
it's the structure
Yeah. Yeah.
that holds the good stuff together. It's like a cake.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a cake. What more can be said?
You
I
want
think.
you want the swirly marble in the middle, but you need the structure of the cake too.
Yeah, and you need the baker. You need it all.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did we
Wow.
do it again, Greg?
I think we fixed the world.
All
I
right.
think it's and in under 20 minutes. So this
Wow.
is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like we are doing good in under 20
Let's
minutes.
call it
So-
Guinness. Yeah.
So thank you.
All right,
That was
thanks.
good. And we'll see you all soon.
Take
Bye
care.
for now.